as you can tell, once again, I have to do a video to help you all out with our section 5.8, solving quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. To recap really quickly, we use the quadratic formula when we cannot factor easily quadratics. Yet, we'll know that there are two real roots. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Just give me a second. And we're going to take a look at the handout with two examples. Of course, feel free to pause the video at any time so that you can catch up and making sure you're all right. Also, I'll try to swap between by using our calculator. One more time. We use the quadratic formula when we cannot factor and solve that way. Nor do we really use the radical roots to solve from our section 5.7. So just give me a second. Hopefully this will work. I apologize. I am again using Microsoft Teams, and I need to share my screen. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. And this should be the handout that you have in front of you. I'm also going to get rid of my face if that's okay, so that you can focus on exactly the screen. So this handout shows the quadratic formula. You don't have to actually use the, you don't have to actually look at the proof that we have here. Just make note that I zoom in right over here. Oops. The quadratic formula is x equals negative b. Oops. It's not working properly. Let's try that again. I'll undo. Let's refresh. Let's try that again. Maybe I'll use my pen. X equals, nope, it's not working. And I apologize for the errors. I don't know why it's not highlighting properly. It should. Let's try that again. I am so sorry for the jarringness of this YouTube video. Let's just reload again. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So really quickly, I'll just highlight it here in yellow. That's the form that we're going to be using. And this will be provided for you. So we're going to take a look at the first example. And although it says solving quadratic equation using the quadratic formula, leave your answer in square root form. Ask me in class on Friday to help you out. So let's take a look at the first one. Now, just give me a second. I have to detach my Surface keyboard because I can't tilt. We have the first question, question A. Let me just zoom in. People can see. We have x squared plus 7x plus 2 equals 0. So we showed in class that we have the values of A, which is equal to 1. Our B value is equal to 7. And our C value is equal to 2. Hopefully everyone realized we're just looking at the numbers. Again, I'm going to just write over here to the left of your screen the quadratic formula so people can see as I substitute into it. And I'll try to color code it, just like we did in class on Wednesday. So we'll use the A for red. We'll use blue for the B, and we'll use green for the C. Now you might want to watch first and then try it yourself again. When subbing in, we are going to get a negative B. And notice it's that, oops, negative 7, Mr. Chen, negative 7. Let's write this out. Come on. Why aren't you writing? Oh, why aren't you writing? So much lag. Let's try that again. Negative 7 plus or minus the square root of the 7 minus 4. It will always be a 4. Now, what's our a? Our a in this case is 1. That means multiplied. And our c value. All over 2 times 1. Again, I apologize for the lag. So what do we do? Just make sure you're okay. The negative 7 is clearly going to be in front because negative times 7 is negative 7. And under the radical sign, or the square root sign, we actually execute what we're doing. So we have to do the order of operations, which is, of course, brackets first. We're done. Then we deal with the exponent. 7 squared, that's 49. And notice we have negative 4 times 1 times 2. Negative 4 times 1 times 2 is negative 8, all over 2. Someone was asking me earlier in class, well, what do you do next? Well, you simply do what's under the square root sign. The 49 minus 8 is kind of like if they're in brackets. So 49 minus 8 is the square root of 41 all over 2. And so this answer is actually the answer in square root form. If you really want to know what the answer is, we talked about this in class. The first answer is negative 7 plus the square root of 41 all over 2. And the other answer is negative 7 minus root 41 all over 2. And if you understood this, this is called the exact answer because they're left in square root. But let's try using our calculator for the next one. We'll try to do question example 2. A. So we'll do the same thing that we were talking about. Again, I think a lot of you understand. Pause the video if you're having trouble. This question is y equals 3x squared minus x minus 1. And we'll try to get it accurate to 2 decimal places. So what do we have? The a is 3. Our b is negative 1. And our c is also negative 1. We'll try to use the same colors. Red for A. B is blue. And C is green. Let me just make sure I did the same thing. You don't have to use these same colors, but I'm just trying to show you with the colors. So try it yourself. Apologize, I moved up the quadratic formula. And see if you can sub in. But hopefully you're going to get exactly what I'm going to be writing. So negative 1 goes there, negative 1 goes there, 3 goes here, 3 goes here, and a negative 1 goes here. Before we continue, everyone okay? Notice we're going to get x equals negative times a negative is a positive, so we're going to get a positive 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 1 all squared is 1. Now this is maybe a little troublesome. Just pause the video if you need some help. The negative 4, that red 3, and that negative 1 with green negative 1, we're going to multiply those out, and you're actually going to get positive 12 over 6. Then we get x equals 1 plus or minus the square root of 13 over 6. And again, what this means is that we're going to get the solution for the first root, 1 plus root 13 over 6. And the other one is x equals 1 minus root 13 over 6. Now, hopefully this is going to work. I do apologize. Let me make sure if my screen will show this. Hopefully you can see this calculator pop up. And if it doesn't show up, I do apologize. So I'm actually going to use my calculator. And hopefully it's on the screen that you're seeing right now. I'm going to do the 1 plus root 13. And get that answer, because that is the numerator, and divide it by 6. We get an answer of 0.7675. The other answer, we're going to do 1 minus the square root of 13. And again, no one can actually do that in their head. You have to use a calculator. We get this answer, dividing by 6, and we get negative 0.4342. Now, it did say round to 2 decimal places. So technically, our final answer should be for the first one, 0.77. And the other answer should be negative 0.43. Because we're actually looking at this digit and this digit. So hopefully that helped. Try your best to do your homework. I'm going to pop back my face. And I'm going to stop sharing. So hopefully that made sense. And I'm getting some lag. So hopefully everyone's all right. And again, if you have any questions, please ask me on Friday's class. Have a nice day.